Good day to all. This is a tutorial made by our group. My name is Glenn Jimenez and I'm a speaker about this part. Our topic is about server Microsoft 2016 OS installation. So we're gonna show you the basic setup for VirtualBox. First is we're gonna create a new virtual machine, naming Windows 2016 server. We're gonna select storage for the virtual image, local disk D, and next. Next is we're gonna set a RAM size. We're gonna set the RAM size to 5.4 gig, and this is virtual disk image, dynamically allocated, and we're gonna set the virtual hard disk to 20 gig. And you and there you have it. We have created a virtual machine. We're gonna set its specifications through settings. We're gonna go advanced and change the shared clipboard and drag and drop to bi-directional. Gonna go to the system and set the processor to 4 CPUs. And storage, we're gonna mount the ISO file of Windows 2016 Server OS. ISO. We're gonna search the ISO file. The ISO file is updated to February 2021 and is Windows Server 2016 data center. The language is English. So we're gonna proceed to opening the virtual machine. So in the select startup disk, we're gonna select the 2016 ISO of Windows 2016 February 2021 update. The virtual machine has started. We're gonna wait until the virtual machine has set up. I'm gonna skip it because it's very long. It's take very long time. So we have made it to the server installation or OS installation of Windows Server 2016. We're gonna select the English language and English time format and US keyboard. And we're gonna click next. Install now. It's important to read the terms and agreements of all the program before we proceed. But we're gonna skip it. I'm gonna scroll it down and accept the license terms and next. Custom install Windows only and click the unallocated space of 80 gig and next. It is the process of copying the Windows or installing the OS operating system. So we're gonna skip it because it takes a long time. The OS is still installing and we're in the process of getting device ready. Gonna skip it. So this is the first thing we will get into is the password of the OS, because in every server it is important that there is a password on your server to restrict everyone from accessing it. So the password is character format. case sensitive. We're gonna write into it the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 as a password, and we will see that there is an error that the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 password is not accepted. You will need a stronger password to it because it's a server OS. You will need a tighter security and you will need a number, case sensitive, and a symbol in order to run it. And here we go. The OS server installation is done. In order to access the OS, you need to Control-Alt-Delete to go into the password typing. Gonna type the server password, server@123. And after that, we will set the server to its proper settings in server manager, security policy, and group setting policy. And the next speaker is Joed Orense.
Good day to everyone. My name is Joyd V. Orense and I am your speaker for the Server Manager tutorial. So, Server Manager is an application that helps the server to function and run efficiently according to the organization expectations, though the application Server Manager is only available for the Windows 2012 and 2016 OS. So, this is the dashboard part, and first of all, we're going to the local server. So in local server, here you can view the properties, services, and the CPU performance. In services, there are events where some error will pop up as a warning and it can record things that is happening on the computer. As you can see, the error has been clicked. So also in services, this is where you can start, restart, and stop other services from the devices. As you can see, Scott is showing the features of the services. So moving on to the CPU part, it has features where you can view the CPU performance and drivers that are currently working on the computer. So here in dashboard, where we can add and assign server roles and other settings for other computers that are connected to the server. This is the main settings that gives the functionality of the admins or the organization's desired setting for like remote controlled server through phone or other devices, or keep the cloud services function. As you can see, there are many features that can be selected from assigning roles for the server. And with Server Manager, you can export pre-written settings and you can view files and the capacity of other storages. And that is all for the Server Manager application. The next speaker will be JIRAH.
Hello, I am JIRAH and I'll be explaining the security policy. Security policy is where the settings of the server can be seen. there are many things that are under this, which are account policies, security options, local policies, audit, firewall, advanced settings, network, user rights, assignment. Um, Security options all depends on what the admin or the organization wants. Here they can set how many can log in or give permission to people who are allowed to log in. Here they can give or restrict access regarding the server's options. Another thing is that security options can be enabled or disabled depending on what the administrator wants. What you can see here are just examples of a few settings in the security options. So audit policy is just like actual auditing. Here is where you can see the history of anything that has been done in the server. Examples are logging in and out. If it is successful or not, it is all recorded in the audit. User rights assignment is where the administrator can give access to specific users who can access the permanent settings. User rights assignment is enabled permanently and cannot be disabled. Here you can see the user tweaking the settings, giving permissions who can access the settings. Account policies is all about the server's password. Here you can set the password's age that will determine when you will need to change it. Here's also where you can set the desired password length to be used. Here you can see the user setting his desired password age. Here you can see the minimum password length. So here, account threshold is where the admin can see how many times the user tried to access the server's password. In here, the admin can set how many hours an account will be suspended if a user exceeds the password tries or entries that has been set. Here you can see the admin setting the number of entries that can be executed. Reset account is only used if a user cannot remember what his or her password is. Only 30 minutes is given for a user to fix and make another password. If it is not resolved within the first 30 minutes, the account will be suspended again for another 30 minutes until the user can fix it again. Account lockout duration will be triggered if a user enters a password incorrectly for 5 times. Thus, it will be locked for 30 minutes. The next speaker will be Jason MAYNES.
Good day, everyone. My name is Jason MAYNES. I will be presenting the Group Policy Editor. Group Policy Editor is where you edit the setting of other PC connected to the server. In computer configuration, you can see different tabs. In Windows setting, there are 5 settings. First is the name resolution policy. This policy stores configuration settings for DNS security and direct access, and in here you can create and edit rules to make policies that can be applied to the Active Directories. The next setting is the script. As you can see, there are two settings in this tab. The first is the startup setting. In startup setting, the admin can decide for the local PCs connected to the server on what it will do during the startup. For example, the admin can make a PC to scan for viruses after the startup. The next setting is the shutdown. On the shutdown setting, the admin can decide for the local PCs connected to the server what it will do during the shutdown. For example, the admin can make the PCs to close all the apps during the shutdown. The next setting is the deployed printers. On this tab, all the printers that are usable for the server are displayed. For the next setting, the security settings. Just like JIRAH said earlier, this is where the history of different settings and features show up. The audit shows the history. Here in audit policy, all audited events made by local PCs connected to the server are shown whether it is successful or not. The next setting is the user right. The admin can give specific account and PCs the right to edit settings or use other features. Next is the security options. Also, just like JIRAH said earlier, it provides access and restrictions to other accounts and PCs that are connected to the server. Next is the administrative templates. This is where the admin controls whatever he or she wants to show and use by other PCs, like different applications or what types of account can be used or what printers that are usable can be used. There are two different group editor policy, which is the user configuration and the computer configuration. In computer configuration, it is mainly focused on the local PCs. On the other hand, the user configuration is mainly focused on the accounts and users. As for the shutting down the server, you cannot shut down the server without reasons, because it is audited by the server. As you can see, the reason and comment of the server shutdown is hardware upgrade. The reason for this is because the work of organization will be disrupted, which is dependent on the server. It will cost money or background to the organization. That's all. Thank you and God bless.